So, Toronto may move Gary Trent Jr. Yesterday reported that the rival execs expect if the Raptors stay around 500, they would blow it up. Which I said I didn't really feel like that'd be the move. I feel like they would maybe do one move that would help elevate the roster, but I also said that I didn't feel like there was that move out there. Now a report comes out that Toronto Raptors may move the 23-year-old Gary Trent Jr. This is coming from Eric Pincus of Bleacher Report. The thought is that they could also make smaller deals to improve, and that deal would be around Gary Trent Jr. It's not that they, like one source said, they don't want to keep Trent, suggesting he's a player that they would shop at the deadline. He's earning 17.5 this season, 18.8 next year. And I'm a fan of Gary Trent Jr. I personally believe moving older guys and keeping the younger ones because you can still keep them around. But I understand the thought of that. Now, I think with that money, you want to get another guard, an actual, either a guard that can start playing off the bench and then maybe replace him. Not replace Fred VanVleet, but make Fred VanVleet the sixth man. That way you could run like the OG Anunoby, Pascal, Scotty, Loco lineup and have a guard out there. Markelle Fultz comes to my mind, but I don't know if it's a bet. Like you could get Markelle Fultz. I think a Gary Trent Jr. Markelle Fultz. What are your thoughts? You get defense, you get a spacing does screw up there, and that's a big problem with this team is you want a bit more spacing. I said Mike Conley the other day, and people try to run me out of town for saying that. Fred VanVleet for Mike Conley, but what about Gary Trent Jr. for Mike Conley? I think you might have to include like Malachi Flynn in that deal, but Malachi Flynn and Gary Trent Jr. for Mike Conley. Maybe you get a pick back. And the thing is you need someone who could handle the ball, and Gary Trent's a great player, and making 17.5 right now. Jonathan Isaac's making similar money, but I don't think that's the guy you would go out there. Would Bogdanovich be a guy that you want to go out and get? But that's a similar player to Gary Trent Jr. I would think you would be looking for more of a ball handler or another wing, but also a guy who can handle the ball. All right, Marcus Smart would be the dream. If you trade Gary Trent Jr. into Marcus Smart, I think you'd fit that great because he's a willing shooter. I mean, not the greatest shooter. Even Derek White, but those are two guys that I don't think at all the Celtics would trade. Norman Powell's another guy you could look at, but would you want to bring him back? And he's trying. That's why I think Colin Sexton or Markelle Fultz, but Colin Sexton would also bring back no defense. Markelle Fultz, now you lose a bit of shooting, but he's starting to show a willingness to shoot. So I'm right here thinking that out of all the contracts, I mean, DeJounte Murray fits in there, but you would never get yourself DeJounte Murray. Tyus Jones would be nice. Tyus Jones really would be nice. That would be somebody that's just a guy that the Grizzlies wouldn't trade. So the guys you would be interested in aren't necessarily available. And that's where it gets sucks. And I don't know if they want to throw their hats in the Kyle Kuzma. Another idea is if you do Gary Trent, and I think it would have to be like Malachi Flynn. You get yourself like Terrence Ross and Gary Harris, two wing guys. Now you do lose some depth in the backcourt, but you're making some gains. So that's where I want to hear your guys' thoughts. What do you think of this if you're the Toronto Raptors? I can't see the moves that could be made. Put any ideas you have down below.